Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue.
Hey, I think before, and welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. I forgot my own theme. Getting in there. You know, this we're going to wrap up today's show. Don King is in studio along with his wife Peggy's over there. She's applauding at every time that Don moves, you know, and makes any sound because he can't go wrong, you know. I mean, so and then Gene Smith's over there. And before we close, we will close with a Gene Smith pun, but he'll be back next week, Lord willing, and first Saturday of the month with the first Saturday, and he'll be back, our pun master. But Don King, this next guest, is a short timer, so to speak.
Yes.
But very familiar with the state of Tennessee, having grown up in Wilson County.
Yes.
Which isn't far from the office of the TWRA.
That's right.
And has rural roots, so to speak.
She sure does. Yeah, she comes from an ag background. And,
yes.
And so I think that's really going to be a nice new set of eyes for our agency, you know, to help us along those lines and attract some more folks that have an ag background.
As the Director of Communications and Outreach for the TWR, let's welcome
Yes.
to Outdoors with Larry Ray for the first of many times, we hope, you know, that we will have Emily Buck on the show. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Larry. First of all, let me say a big congratulations to you for being named the Conservation Communicator of the Year from the Federation. Super excited and honored to be on the show with you today.
Well, thank you very much. I was so happy to be there, have my table there. Gene Smith was on the table. I don't mean he was on the table. He was sitting at the table. I don't think he was on the table. Don King was at the table, Rob Sedbeck, Gary Mason. It was just a wonderful event. Tony Dolly could not be there, but my wife and Dave and Rand Gabbert, it was just a wonderful time.
Yeah, it was a great day.
And I was able, health-wise, to be there. But, Emily, let's talk about this position. And, Don, you know a little bit about communication side of this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, we are really excited to have Emily on board. And you know, we've kind of reorganized and split up some of the duties there at the agency as far as audio and video production. I've slid over to that side more.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so that's what my main focus is now. But it all goes to the main effort of communicating our agency's mission and getting the news out there. And Emily's a really good asset that we are really excited to have on board.
So talk about it, Emily. Why would you leave the Washington News Bureau chief for the RFD TV? Who would want to come home to this position? I'm kidding, of course. We're glad to have you, but talk about what it means to be back home.
Well, let me tell you what, I am so excited to be back in Tennessee. You know, as a farm girl growing up around cattle and row crops and dark fire tobacco, I really missed the rural roots that I come from while I was in D.C. That was a great job, and it was important work to tell the story of farmers and ranchers and how agricultural policy was affecting them. But I'm really excited to be in this new role to help tell the story of Tennessee hunters and outdoor sportsmen, anglers. You know, this is important for conservation, and the work that TWRA does is so important to them. So I'm looking forward to telling that story now.
Well, you've hit the ground running, and I think this is the only time I can remember, Ron Wong or Don King, that we've had back-to-back UT graduates on the show. You know, I'm getting kind of scared here.
You try to limit that, don't you?
Yeah, I try to be. I got to get a couple of Razorbacks on here next week to balance this out. But Emily is a graduate at UT, Wilson Central High School, active in the 4-H and the FFA youth organizations. And what do you see, Emily, as your role here?
Well, I think there's a lot of important things that TWRA is going to be working on. Number one, we will be focusing on telling the success stories of this agency. for the few weeks I've been here, it's been so interesting to me to meet so many of the incredible staffers here,
yes,
and to hear their stories. And what I've really noticed is that they're all very humble about what they do.
Yes.
They're telling me some of this incredible research they're doing, some of the work they're doing out in the field. And all of it sounds like such an exciting story to me. And they're like, oh, well, that's just my daily work.
Just the job.
So I'm really looking forward to supporting them. And another really important thing that will be a priority for me is supporting the young people in this state. Like you mentioned, I was very involved in 4-H and FFA, and I owe a lot of my success to those organizations. So TWRA is going to be looking for ways to support young people who are passionate about the outdoors.
Well, she said she's just been on the job since May the 2nd, so we won't hold anything against her as far as decisions so far. But June the 2nd, you're on the spot. Okay, they give you 1 month to put it together. Not Don? No, I mean, this is I really look forward to working with you, Emily. Really, I'm truthful here because we consider ourselves the TWRA voice of West Tennessee because we go through Brownsville, Jackson, and all over. And we try to do as much TWRA information, whether it's through Amy Spencer. Amy does a great job over here, and we're hoping we're going to be able to work through you. And, Don, that's important. You've been doing this 22 years, not counting those other ones that you work for free. No, but those years. Communications is an important part of the TWRA.
It is, and it's changed over the years too. I mean,
yeah. Used to come in on those yellow sheets from Jed Pettit back in the old days,
Yeah, and
the press releases from all 4 regions.
It ended up in print in the paper that you worked for many years.
Many years at the Commercial Appeal. That's right.
Now you've taken to the airwaves, and Ron has got you online and in all different other kind of ways to communicate. So we're looking at bringing all those things together, and whether it be video production, audio production, our Wildcast things are very important.
Yes,
and
they are.
Good information we get out there, but there's always a news story, and Emily's got a fresh set of eyes where she can look at, as she mentioned, she's been chatting with some of the biologists.
There's so
about
many
the
stories
that
these guys and gals have been doing.
And I told Emily, I've been here 22 years now, and I learn things every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you didn't know, Emily, about I don't know how many employees at TWRA.
A little over 700.
A little over 700.
Yeah.
That's an easy job.
Statewide.
Just pick out 7 of those every once in a while and interview these people, Emily, because they all have stories to tell. And I guess the job itself, you've hit the ground running. What's the summer's not going to be easy, I imagine. You're going to try to stay as active as you can, right?
Absolutely. Well, and I'm really looking forward to getting out into some of the regions and seeing folks. Getting their work done and helping to tell their stories, and we've got season setting here coming up, so that'll be important for a lot of our folks.
Yes, we just
and of course there's always something on the radar.
We just the comment period just ended. If you didn't send in your comment, it was on my birthday, on the hunting season. Shame on you. That was your chance to do that, and the TWRA does that. And I this will be the May meeting, June meeting. I think the June meeting is. Did we set the season in June?
It'll be the first week.
I'm not sure. Emily ought to know all that. That's her job.
They've kind of thrown us a little bit of a curve. Usually we meet toward the end of each month, but now it's the 1st of June is going to be
it's the 1st of June now.
First week. Thursday
they did that
and Friday
just because of Emily, right? I mean, they changed it all just for you, Emily. But we appreciate you being with us, Emily, and look forward to working with you. And this place is always open to you. Hope you can. They'll give you enough mileage to come over sometime. I know it's a long way from Nashville, and we're way over in West Tennessee, but come visit us, okay?
Happy to do so.
All right. Thanks, Emily Buck. We look forward to seeing you in person. Thanks, Emily. Have a great weekend, all right? I guess she got that. Okay. She's gone. All right. Don King.
Yes.
Let's have some music before the Punt Master closes us out.
Speaking of Memphis.
Yes?
Give me a ticket for an aeroplane.
Yes.
I ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm going home. My baby just wrote me a letter.
Box tops.
I don't care how much money I gotta spend.
You know the box tops?
Ain't got time.
You've heard of the box tops. Okay.
Lonely days are gone, I'm going home. My baby just wrote me a letter.
Okay, here we go.
Everybody knows. Yeah, she wrote me a letter, said she just couldn't live without me no more. Listen, mister, can't you see I got to get back to my baby once more. Anyway, give me a ticket for an aeroplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm going home. My baby just wrote me a letter. Yeah, my baby just wrote me a letter. My baby just wrote me a letter.
Wow. You know, stamps were 6 cents a piece when that song was written.
Man.
1979.
How about gas prices?
Gas prices, yeah.
1979.
1979.
Wow.
Were you what were you doing in 1979?
No,
Working
I'm
in
sorry.
Surplus
That was
City?
not
Where were
1979.
you?
That was 1969.
I was thinking you were
when it
aging
came
in
out.
a hurry.
1969 is when that song came out.
Yes.
I was a DJ on the aircraft
On the
carrier
aircraft.
radio station.
There you go.
And,
Yeah.
you know, Armed Forces Radio would send us out
On the DJ.
a 78 that had different
like big LP.
big LP.
All right, we got to get out of
and
here.
it
Ron,
was so cool.
Ron Wong is
and I heard
reminiscing
that, and
here.
I had to play it a
Don
lot.
King, thank you for being with us.
You betcha.
All right, we got to close with a pun real quickly. A real quick pun. All right?
Okay, I went to the credit union today and I got in trouble. I asked this little lady what she had in there for. She said for a balance, so I shoved her.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll be back next week. I hope not after that. We may not be. Dave Gabbert, Gene Smith. We will have the gray-bearded adventurer himself.
All right.
Dale Sanders, as he does the Source to the Sea one more time at the age of, I don't even know how old he is now.
86, I guess.
87 or something. So this is Larry Ray remind you as I do each and every week. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport, but what else?
God bless the USA. USA. USA.